Do you believe that knowledge only reveals itself to those who seek it? Do you think that all the answers we seek are inside us? Have you ever heard of Akashic records? What is the story behind it? The late Edgar Cayce noted that the Akashic records could be seen as the universe's supercomputer. It is a central storage facility for all information. The Akashic records are a field of energy that holds history. It contains the past, present, and even future knowledge of everything surrounding us. The Akashic records manifest everywhere at once. In other ways, which everyone can clearly understand, we can describe the Akashic records, such as the modern Wi-Fi network. No one can see the Wi-Fi internet, yet we know that it is everywhere that we go. It is invisible yet accessible. If you can reach it, you can reach limitless information. There is internet access anywhere. There are also hidden secret patterns and codes floating around us. This is the same with the Akashic records. To be able to access this information, all you need to do is to tune your consciousness into the right frequency. When did we first hear about the Akashic records? Who was the first one to mention this, and why? In 1883, the author Alfred Percy Sennett coined the term Akashic records. It was mentioned in one of his books called Esoteric Buddhism. In his book, the author describes that the universal records physically exist according to the Eastern philosophy. The universal records exist in the ever-pervasive realm known as the Akasha. It was noted that enlightened individuals could access this. However, the most interesting and bizarre thing about all of this is that the Akashic records can be found thousands of years earlier in the ancient Hindu scriptures. There are a lot of tales, old tales that have been told. It is worth telling the Mahabharata and the Puranas. The endless stories about this mystical famous Vedic sage, known as Narada. Narada had transcended consciousness to gather knowledge and give the teaching great wisdom based on the tradition. It is believed that Narada has access to the essential knowledge that is in the fabric of the divine cosmic order. It has the mystical ability to tap into the universal wisdom from the Akasha. You might ask what the word Akasha means and where it came from. Akasha is a Sanskrit word that means ether in the elemental and metaphysical sense. It is believed that the ancient Egyptian deity known as Thoth or Hermes Trismegistus has had access to the Akashic records. He was revered as a god. However, before that, Thoth was one of the first and greatest Egyptian philosophers. He was the founder of many ancient mystery schools. He had received his wisdom while in meditative trances and had written over 40 books. Those books are Emerald Tablet, Divine Paimandar, and the Book of Thoth. His knowledge meant a lot to the Egyptians that they began to credit him as the communicator with the gods. Then, eventually, he got inducted into the Egyptian pantheon. However, all of these stories and tales make us wonder, is there any proof of the existence of the Akashic records? It is indeed hard to validate its existence. Modern-day understandings limit us anything that physical senses can't perceive or even something that is impossible to perceive. However, the ugly truth is that there is no way that we can prove that the Akashic records exist. There is no proof of the existence of the Akashic records. There is no evidence because the Akashic records can't be seen, touched, heard, or even measured. The one and only Nikola Tesla had once said, "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all previous centuries of its existence." Dr. Ervin Laszlo had spent years studying the nature of electromagnetic and gravitational fields. He is a celebrated futurist and Nobel Prize nominee. However, he had announced that he had found evidence of the Akashic field. What did Dr. Laszlo do? He worked from the discovery of the quantum zero-point energy. Quantum zero-point energy is a radiation field that exists all around us. We can't perceive it. However, we can detect it indirectly. Quantum zero-point energy is solid theoretically, and Albert Einstein first discovered it. So, we surely know that zero-point energy exists. It exists, and it carries a lot of information about the whole universe. However, Dr. Laszlo believed that this theory didn't carry just physical information and the universe's physics, but it also contained intellectual information. The theoretical physicists have claimed that zero-point energy is an all-pervasive sea of invisible quantum energy waves. They are invisible but exist throughout the universe. Space itself is made of energy and information. This information propagates through the universe through waves called quantum waves. It is believed that the Akashic field is made of quantum waves. Quantum waves are very common in intelligent life. However, this means that everyone can have access to these quantum waves. Starting from human brains, extraterrestrial brains, and otherworldly beings can tap into these quantum waves, which you can receive information there. There is an intelligent informational field that we all can access with our consciousness. This is not pseudoscience or superstition. Believe it or not, it is a basic fact that all of our scientists worldwide confirm true. Richard Feynman, the Nobel Prize-winning physicist, published his groundbreaking work in quantum physics called The Strange Theory of Light and Matter. This book believed that electrons in our brains could be activated and informed by quantum waves. This affects our thoughts and subconscious. Richard Feynman even talked about the quantum entanglement theory. He has spoken about the idea that you could have subatomic particles at any distance whatsoever and that they could affect each other, and the information can be sent instantly. It has been said that the brain is full of electrical activity. The human brain creates radiation that it's a susceptible radio receiver, which would be able to send such waves. Richard Feynman had noted that even an electron moving inside of our brain could be receiving radio signals, not only from the past, but it must also receive waves from the future. This lets us understand that every electron in our brain is a receiver. Nikola Tesla had said once, "My brain is only a receiver." There is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration in the universe. Was Nikola Tesla right? After all, it is safe to say that information could instantaneously traverse any part of the universe. Intelligent civilizations could send complex details to us by quantum wave propagation or other means. Stories about people accessing the Akashic records can't only be found in our ancient past, but also recent history. A great example is the year 1923. During this year, a Bulgarian 12-year-old girl named Vangelia was playing in a field, not knowing that her life would change forever. She was alone and playing when suddenly, a tornado carried her off into the air. After some time, she was found by her parents. Luckily, she was alive. The girl was frightened. Her parents couldn't help but notice that her eye was strangely closed with sand and dust. The girl couldn't open her eyes because of the pain that she was feeling. The girl later went into many operations for her eyes, but all of them were unsuccessful. The girl remained completely and forever blind. After her multiple unsuccessful procedures, the girl developed a striking ability. She was able to predict the future and began making accurate revelations for the local population. Year by year, the girl grew up and became famous. By the 1980s, the girl went by the name Baba Vanga, which in the Bulgarian it meant grandmother. Baba Vanga had given many accurate predictions and gained a reputation as the Nostradamus of the Balkans. The woman says that she can see everything in her mind's eye. She says that she can see their whole life when she looks at a person. She can see someone's life from the moment they were birthed to the moment of their death. Just like a movie. She had become the most interesting woman. Many Bulgarian and Soviet scientists had tested her and interviewed her and the people she read. However, the scientists weren't the only interested ones. Many of the politicians and leaders of the Eastern Bloc traveled to the woman's village so that she could read about their life. The predictions of Baba Vanga were always accurate. This tells us the ability to retrieve information beyond this earth has nothing to do with our five senses. It was the moment when she became blind that her other senses began to develop and receive messages and information about the past, present, and future, which are the most extensive predictions of Baba Vanga which were accurate. Let's start with a death date. Baba Vanga had predicted the day of Stalin's death. However, the world didn't like this prediction, so she spent a short time in prison and was questioned by the Soviets. Baba Vanga also predicted the nuclear explosion in Chernobyl, the tragedy of 9/11, the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the sinking of the Russian submarine, Kursk, and many more. However, we must remember that those amazing predictions were coming from someone who hasn't read books, was born a peasant and had no access to television or any modern source of information like we do nowadays. Then, it makes us wonder where she was getting all of this information from. She was able to access the kind of knowledge that people cannot access. Throughout the centuries, many have claimed to contact otherworldly realms as a source of their inspiration. However, one of them, the people who successfully accessed the Akashic records, was Michiel de Notre Dame. He was known as Nostradamus. He was able to predict many important things, too, such as the Great Fire of London in 1666. Then, the French Revolution and the rise of power of Adolf Hitler. He had claimed that he succeeded in getting inside the Akashic records by using methods found in ancient Greek oracles, Christian mysticism, and the Kabbalah. It is safe to say that he was one of the first people to access the Akashic records. He describes his experience as a divine state where everything is happening. However, not in a linear sense, but all are happening at once. All of the past, present, and future concepts are bound into one thing. Many prophets believe that they are tapping into another reality beyond the Earth's existence. It is possible that they could be tapping into a layer of reality shared by other beings like extraterrestrials. Is it possible that the Akashic records are all around us and that our brains are not yet evolved to see them? It is worth mentioning Albert Einstein and even Nikola Tesla. Albert Einstein had claimed that he had received the ideas for his greatest inventions from an outside source. He said that he came up with a theory of relativity in a second and that his vision came into his mind out of nowhere. Many things lead us to believe that the Akashic records are influencing the consciousness of humanity. It led us to think so because some of the greatest inventions had been received simultaneously around the globe, which wasn't connected. William Ogburn and Dorothy Tolman were the Columbia University sociologists, and they had published a paper. They issued a report in the Academy of Political Science journal titled, "Are Inventions Inevitable?" This idea of this publishment came because of simultaneous inventions. There were 148 instances of simultaneous inventions where two or more people were operating without knowing the other's work. Then, they came up with the same groundbreaking innovation or theory simultaneously. This was very interesting and weird. It makes us wonder, how is it possible for people on different continents and cultures to simultaneously come up with the same idea? Is this just a coincidence, or is it something even bigger behind all of this? A Frenchman named Poincare, a theoretical physicist, had preceded discovering Einstein's relativity. It is possible that as time passes, our collective consciousness evolves into a new level of perception. It is possible that vital knowledge is being released into the collective information field, and people can receive it and even express it. Many people have explored the Akashic records, including a man from China named Sujujin. This man discovered and described someone's life history only by knowing that person's first name. The spiritual beliefs had noted that the Akashic records is known as the Book of Life. This means that Akashic records contain every thought, every word, intent, emotion, and deed of that soul, of that individual. It includes the journey from the point of origin until the end of time. It is believed that the Akashic records hold the most profound connections and meanings between each piece of information. It contains the soul's purpose, callings, talents, and even lessons. It includes information on each soul available through a specific frequency, like a fingerprint encoded into the universe's energies. Your soul's journey recordings since your beginning are in the Akashic records. Would you believe if I say that the Akashic records holds everything about you, all around you, and within you? It is everything you are and have been, plus the potential you have yet to become. The Akashic records are a special field of energy that permeates your entire being. Akashic records are not separate from you, but an integral part of you. They are living, changing documents. Everything of you is in there. The changings, the healing, and the growth are updated to reflect those changes. Your Akashic records hold an infinite amount of information indeed. There is no end to the information you can explore about yourself and your relationships with everyone around you. You will always receive the information lovingly and compassionately. It is said that there are specific beings and energetic aspects that specialize in the energy field of Akashic records. Those beings are called the record keepers. The record keepers are a part of your divine spiritual family. They have always been by your side, eagerly waiting to assist you. Those beings respect your free will, waiting until you initiate contact and ask for help. The information you would find from your Akashic records directly results from your questions. When you question something, you guide the record keepers and ascended masters to the suitable energetic space and retrieve the answers you are ready to know. Sometimes we think it is the right time to learn something, but we are not prepared in reality. Our answers can become crystal clear in the oddest and most unlikely moments. Let's explain this in other words. Imagine that there is an infinite apple orchard. Imagine that there are a lot of apple trees, which are chock full of apples. Each apple holds something different. Each apple keeps the key that your soul has had different experiences. Each tree represents themes that you have experienced throughout the journey of your soul. In order to know a piece of information, you must have to come up with a great way of directing the record keepers. It would be best if you led them to the right tree and then the excellent apple. If they choose the right apple you are talking about, you will get the information you are seeking. This information will facilitate your healing and growth. The record keepers are the energetic aspects of these immense apple orchards. All you have to do is ask them a question. The better your question is, the better help is for them to go to the correct tree. It would help if you asked in a particular way to get closer to the specific apple that holds the information that you want to know. Is there a possibility of healing yourself? The possibility for healing occurs when you can get down to the core of an issue, the wisdom and the seed of knowledge hidden within a specific apple. The awareness of the core is often enough to create the energetic shift which results in healing. It changes energetic frequency to the next higher level of divine love and light, which might manifest in the spiritual, physical, mental, or emotional realms. When working with the energy of the Akashic records, there is unlimited potential for healing. The healing process is related to your level of commitment and your intent to heal yourself. Once you set your mind and your purpose within yourself, you are ready to do your inner work. The records keepers are there to help you and readily come forward to assist you as best as they can. The record keepers radiate upon you the energy of divine love and provide guidance when you ask or make it evident that you want help. As once we said, your divine spiritual family would never interfere with your free will. However, you must initiate the connection and ask for what you want or need. They are waiting for your initiation and are ready to respond. It is indeed a gift to have a strong connection with your inner wisdom. You might wonder if you can do this and if you have this ability. I am here to tell you that it is a divinely given right. There is no need for you to earn this talent. It is something that is not only for chosen few, it is for everyone. It works for everyone who takes the time to make it know that they want it. You are the co-creator of your reality, and it is up to you to initiate change in your life. All you need to do is ask for help, and then you must be willing to put to use all of the information you receive. It's your choice. It will help if you put into practice everything that you are learning. If you don't put it to practice, then nothing will change your life. It is said that the definition of insanity is to keep doing what you have always done and expect to get different results. We can receive messages from our divine family and guidance all of the time. It is our choice to either acknowledge the messages or ignore them. Our spiritual plants the seeds of light and knowledge for us, and then they wait for us to nurture them. This way, we could mature into wisdom. We are radiated from them with the same loving energy even if we choose to make the same old choices. This is what free will means. Akashic records don't tell you how to live your life for what to do with your life instead. They provide you with the knowledge and wisdom you need to broaden your perspective, allowing you to make healthier choices. The Akashic Records energy gives you the support you need to grow and evolve personally and spiritually. The Spirit responds to your request to heal and provide you with growth opportunities. Every time something comes up for you in your life and pushes your buttons, the spirits prove you an opportunity for growth. However, now it is good to know that you can go into your records, dig around, and explore the core of the issue at hand. You will be able to begin the healing process once you have uncovered the core issue. The record keepers are waiting for you to begin this personal and spiritual journey. All you need is to connect with your Akashic records and your divine spiritual family. If you do this, you will experience more profound levels of self-empowerment and self-direction. It would help if you discovered the euphoria of going within to connect directly with your divine source. Every time that you visit your Akashic records, then you have the potential to heal another piece of yourself. Every time you recover your energy, you will recover your inner self and feel more comfortable. Our actions will determine the responses of our futures.